Since childhood, my dreams were never just dreams. They were other worlds, other lives, and other versions of me, and I didn't know that anyone else was seeing what it is that I was seeing. I actually started documenting them at 13 and writing down in my notebook symbols, signs, entities, beings, timelines. That felt way too real to dismiss. No one actually told me what they meant. No one told me that I was traveling into dimensions every single night. So today, I'm going to give you a transmission that I wish that someone had given me back then, one that would have accelerated my multidimensional mastery years earlier. Today we're going to talk about dream landscapes. What are dreams? What are you doing in the astral realm? What happens if you don't remember your dreams? How can you begin to remember your dreams? This is going to be a full workshop, so you did not land here by chance, Starseed. This is a remembering. I'm not really going to be teaching you anything new. This is something that you already know that we're just going to be excavating in today's session. The first thing to remember is that you're a multidimensional organism, which means that you're existing in multiple dimensions simultaneously. You're not just a physical body. So you're not the physical human that's moving through a linear world. Instead, you're a multidimensional organism whose consciousness radiates in every direction. You can see it as a 360-degree holographic dome that's woven from bioelectricity, memory, emotions, plasma, geometry, and light itself. Your chakras are not wheels, right? They're not these flat discs. Instead, they're spherical phase gates, dimensional spheres generated by the toroidal pulse of life force moving through your pranic tube. Each chakra extends outward in every direction, overlapping with others and forming this living auric membrane. You can kind of think about it, and I'll show you in the illustrations. Each chakra is a spherical gate, right? It's a sphere inside of you, and then it projects outwardly in this energetic hologram, and that is your actual auric field essentially, and you have one for each chakra point. So there is 13 plus. There's actually infinite chakras that you have. But anyway, this membrane is not passive. It's a projector, translating vibration into experience. That's why reality doesn't happen to you. It renders from you. And when your field is coherent, the projection is very clear. And when your field is distorted, reality begins to fracture. It becomes symbolic or reactive or fear-coded. You're navigating your own inner universe at all times. You have a main core to source. It's this quantum plug-in point. So you're plugged into reality through this single vertical cord. That's your source cord. The same way that Neo plugs into the Matrix. It's this living bioelectrical etheric current that runs through your crown, it flows through your heart, passes through your root, and continues all the way down into the core of the earth. Above, it connects you to source, and below, it anchors you into this planetary grid. This cord is what powers your incarnation. I want you to just feel this for a moment with me, okay? This is practical embodiment. This is always happening. The only thing that shifts is your awareness. You are now aware and acknowledging this cord. So just see it moving through source, anchoring throughout your entire organism, plugging you straight into the planetary grid. I want some of you to open up, not even some, I want all of you to open up your star chakras. These are going to be your earth-based chakras. So you have one beneath your feet. Just feel that in this moment. You can feel it opening. See the source cord running through it. You're remote viewing right now. That's what you're doing. Trust your imagination. Don't doubt yourself. Open up your second earth star. That's going to be below that one. Feel yourself anchor deeper and deeper into the grid. Open up your third one. Okay, I want you to be really, really grounded in your body and present. Okay, let's continue. Your chakras are not just energy centers, but they're perceptual lenses. Quantum filters that determine how you experience the world. Every moment of your life is filtered through them. Your emotional reactions, your sense of safety, boundaries, intuition, the connection that you have to others, and your access to your higher guidance. Each chakra shapes the way that you interpret reality. You can think about it as different colored lenses over a camera. And when a chakra is clogged with fear, trauma, or survival programs, the lens becomes distorted. And you don't see reality as it is, but you see it through the filter of separation. On the stark contrast, when the chakra is clear, the lens becomes transparent, and you begin to see the world the way that Source sees it, through unity, coherence, and truth. The clearer your chakra lenses become, the more the entire organism synchronizes with the source cord. And suddenly, the human experience stops feeling fragmented. Everything becomes a part of one single continuum, one field, one story, one consciousness expressing itself in different forms in this unified field of creation. When your chakras are clean and coherent, you're not just reacting to life, but you're perceiving it from this vantage point of your higher self, anchoring the perspective of source through the physical body as you move through the world. This is why the inner work matters, because you're not just healing emotions, but you're polishing the lenses through which you experience the universe. And a clear chakra system allows you to see this reality without distortion. You can act without fear, or you can act even when fear is present by observing it. You'll then be able to receive without resistance and interpret reality with this precision. And you'll navigate life from unity rather than separation. This is the training for the multidimensional human. It's how you become lucid in dream state as well as waking state. And it's how you move through this world with the eyes of source. When you fall asleep, you undergo the same mechanics that you'll experience at physical death, but in a miniature kind of way. So your senses, they'll withdraw, the ego will loosen its grip, and your toroidal field folds back inwards. You'll slip into the chakra sphere that matches your frequency in that moment. Sleep becomes a micro-death in that way, and dreaming is almost like a micro-incarnation. Lucidity is conscious incarnation into a parallel self. So you don't imagine alternate lives, but you begin to enter them. The only difference is how much you remember. This is the exact reason I wanted to do this message, and it's because I see hundreds of comments that, a lot of you can't remember your dreams. And I'm going to explain why you can't remember your other lives yet, and that's because memory is conductivity. When the nervous system is tight, the fascia is dehydrated and the brain becomes inflamed and the breath is shallow, the vagus nerve, it's tense, and the chakras are clogged. So the voltage of high information literally can't pass through. The memory doesn't vanish. The body simply cannot carry the charge. But as you begin to regulate your nervous system, expand grey matter in your brain through meditation, clear emotional debris in your body, reduce inflammation, and also strengthen your circadian rhythm and cultivate neutrality, which is key, something begins to change because you'll notice your dreams return, your past lives will actually begin to surface, your parallel selves, they'll feel very, very familiar, and higher beings become more accessible to you. Your entire field becomes capable of actually holding more light. This is what remembering who you are truly means. Grey matter and the hidden antenna of multidimensional perception is that grey matter is not limited to the brain. When you cultivate neutrality, which is the 0 point stability, grey matter begins to grow and branch. It branches into the spine, through the vagus nerve, into the fascia, and into the auric membrane. Your entire organism becomes conductive, like a battery pack, because water carries a frequency. You can think about plasma as something that amplifies the frequency. Fascia transmits this frequency, and grey matter anchors it into the body. This is why your multidimensional experiences sharpen as you heal. And neuroscience confirms this. Studies on meditators, musicians, and professional athletes, yes, including even tennis players, show that when humans enter deep immersive flow states, grey matter density increases dramatically, especially in regions tied to spatial awareness, intuition, things like memory retrieval, or emotional regulation, even sensory openness, because the body literally rewires itself to perceive more reality. Every time you do things like meditate, regulate your breath, or enter a focused, creative, artistic state, you're growing the antenna through which you can access other dimensions. Your aura is not a glow, it's a living membrane. A bioelectrical gate connecting your physical body to the morphic genetic field of the universe. When your conductivity rises, the membrane becomes porous enough to receive subtle realm information and also stable enough to not collapse under the emotional overwhelm. Your timelines merge, synchronicities accelerate, your intuition will sharpen, and you begin inhabiting multiple realms simultaneously. You'll realize that you've always lived in multiple dimensions, but you simply were just not aware. In my opinion, this is one of the most important parts, and that's that lucidity begins here, in the now. Lucidity is not just a nighttime phenomenon. It begins right now. It begins here in the third density, and that actually begins to bleed into dream state. Every time you pause and ask yourself, what emotion am I perceiving through right now? Is this intuition or fear? Is this contraction or coherence? Is this memory or choice? You activate the lucid observer, the same consciousness that walks through dreams awake. I'm going to give you some practical lucidity training right now, things that you can actually begin to integrate into your everyday experience. The first one would be Throughout the day, you can practice waking up inside of the simulation. When you're at your job, just pause and ask, who is the observer? When you're driving, notice the part of you that's watching the moment. When you're grocery shopping, what if this is a dream? What is this teaching me? When someone triggers you, begin to observe instead of reacting. And I'll take this even deeper. Observe the one that is reacting. These micro awakenings, believe me, they bleed into your dream space. I also encourage you to try, especially if you're first training lucidity, when you drift off between realms, try the night waking routine. So if you wake up between like 2 to 4 a.m., you're already in theta. And this gives you a higher chance of falling into dream space, but with a level of lucidity. And you can even tap your finger. That's something that I used to do in the physical realm. And then I used to stop tapping my finger in the physical, and I used to continue tapping my finger in my mind. And you allow the nervous system to settle, you feel the body going into a deep relaxation, and eventually you'll practice this conscious exercise where you can walk through into your dreams awake, and just set that intention as you do that. And again, like, repetition is going to ultimately create mastery when you do this, but this is just like one of the many techniques I kind of use starting out so that could help somebody. Let's talk about the circadian rhythm though, because that's also a really important one. This is a forgotten spiritual technology because it literally puts you in alignment with the Earth's natural rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is more than just a sleep cycle. It's a cosmic alignment mechanism. When your body wakes and rests in rhythm with the Earth's rotation, your cortisol in the body stabilizes. The pineal gland actually activates, especially when you are in the presence of the sun. Your melatonin deepens, your inflammation lowers, your intuition actually heightens, and you'll have better astral recall. You'll notice that it will increase because grey matter begins to grow faster, and your toroidal field strengthens as a result of that. The Earth is rotating at a precise cosmic tempo, and when you sync your body with it, you enter coherence naturally. This is why sunrise light or evening darkness and consistent sleep windows matter for spiritual mastery. Now that you understand the architecture, the spheres, the gates, the holographic dome, the astral realm, the grey matter, the pineal gland, there's one final truth. Knowledge is not mastery. Embodiment is. And embodiment begins with how you move through your day. Because lucidity is not limited to dreams. It's an ongoing state of awareness. You're answering an email, and for a second, you look back at yourself, realizing you're the observer and not the identity. You're cooking, and suddenly the colors seem sharper and the sounds more holographic, as if something inside of you just woke up. You're speaking to someone, and you feel clearly, I'm witnessing a version of myself in another form. These micro awakenings tell your subconscious, stay awake, stay aware, and stay lucid. And that command carries on into your dream state automatically. Your multidimensionality is not spiritual, it's biological. Any practice that brings you into things like deep focus, enjoyment, creative flow, meditation, music, dance, athletic precision, visualization, or breathwork expands grey matter in the brain and the body. Neurological studies on meditators, musicians, painters, and even tennis players show that when you enter immersive flow, your brain literally grows new grey matter clusters tied to spatial and interdimensional perception. Do you understand how powerful you are? Every time you enter presence, you grow the very organ that allows you to perceive other dimensions. Consciousness is not trapped in the body, it's activated through the body. When you sync your body with the Earth's natural rotation, you experience an immediate shift in consciousness, waking with sunrise, avoiding bright lights after sunset, or maintaining consistent sleep windows. When you ground your feet to the earth or you eat with the daylight cycles, you're allowing melatonin to rise naturally. Your electromagnetic field syncs with the Earth's field, your pineal gland activates and your intuition sharpens. Your dream recall intensifies and your astral visions open. The Earth becomes your spiritual mentor, and when your rhythm matches hers, your consciousness rises without force. The last tool that I'm going to illuminate is a nightly crown clearing routine. The ritual that prepares your soul for Stargate travel. Before sleep, the micro-death, there's a sacred window. This is the most potent moment of the entire day to clear your field, because your consciousness is preparing to cross into the astral realms, where karma, memory, and timelines and parallel selves begin to meet. Close your eyes in this moment and breathe in. And slowly exhale. Visualize a soft violet white light opening at the crown. This is your source link, the frequency that dissolves illusion and returns you to unity. Now review your day as if it were a hologram you projected. Not judgment, not shame, not with self-attack. Simply meet your day with recognition. Here is where I contracted. Here is where I reacted. Here is where I feared, where I loved, where I abandoned myself, and where I remembered. And then whisper inwardly, all of this was me. All of this came from me. And all of this returns to me now. Feel your life force gathering back into your field. Every fragment you scattered throughout the day. Every emotional leak. Every projection. Every moment where you left yourself. As the crown brightens, let the violet field dissolve. Karmic threads, emotional residue, imprints from others, any psychic debris or narratives that aren't yours, even matrix conditioning absorbed from the collective, and distortions that you walk through unconsciously. This is not you cleansing yourself from the world. This is you remembering. Everything I experienced today was my own projection, and I can reclaim the energy behind it at will. As the crown clears, your 𝓦𝓸𝓵 strengthens, and your field tightens, your coherence rises. And as your coherence rises, your access to higher stargates open. This single ritual prepares the soul for lucid dreaming, for astral navigation, for meeting your higher selves or retrieving multidimensional memory, and for traveling in realms your waking consciousness has only glimpsed. Before sleep, the micro-death, you become whole again, and with wholeness, you ascend. What you do in dreams is not symbolic, it's real. You're working in other dimensions, you're clearing timelines, healing ancestors, retrieving lost fractals, and strengthening your higher selves. You'll notice that you're closing karmic loops and you're ascending through the astral. And the more conscious you become while awake, the more conscious you become while dreaming. Dream time and wake time are not separate. They're two halves of one continuous existence. The dream is the classroom. The physical world is the test. The astral is the rehearsal. And the body is the performance. The soul is the author. And the field itself, well, the field is the stage. And you're living them all at once. let's talk about some practical things, because as we move through this matrix, again, there's always going to be this level of contrast and resistance. So let's not talk about the origin of how these things came into our system, but let's talk about what we can do and to really take agency over our own life and the things in which we choose to consume on a daily basis. Let's begin with the pineal gland, which it's your internal stargate. And I've seen comments around calcified pineal gland and even what that means. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys today how that can even come to pass. Your pineal gland is the lens that allows you to perceive non-physical realms. So it's your multi-sensory perception system that allows you to tune into what's happening in other dimensions, otherwise known as the eye of the soul. But this lens becomes clouded when you do things like consume fluoride. Please, please, please do not drink tap water, and check the ingredients on your toothpaste, guys. Please check the ingredients on your toothpaste, please, and make sure there's no fluoride there for yourself. Another one would be like eating processed foods. Okay, if you are really, really serious about clearing up the physical vessel, which is literally, again, a vehicle, then please limit processed foods, at least for a time period, so that you can clear up your body and you will see how things drastically improve. And again, have everything in moderation. Also, living under chronic stress, right? Do things that allow you to de-stress, focus on things that actually bring you that stress, and how you can shift your thoughts and emotions to change your relationship even with that sensation within the body, and understand what your body is telling you, right? Remember that you're not the sensation of stress, but you are the one observing and experiencing it through the body. Okay, also, scrolling overstimulated screens. Okay, if you're scrolling and you're doom scrolling, especially before dream time, and again, you have different kind of bandwidths of frequency light that actually interferes with your melatonin production, that's something that is going to inhibit, is that the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, it's going to essentially suppress or you know, cloud this lens. Also, sleeping at inconsistent times can be something that makes astral recall even harder, especially if you are first starting in this like astral training lucidity. I'll probably put together a whole program for you guys. If you are interested, let me know and I'll put that together for the future. Also, suppressing emotional energy. Anytime you're suppressing emotional energy, you're also blocking off, I'm going to do a whole nother session on this because this is a whole nother thing, you're blocking off memory from other dimensional planes that you're actually actively operating in. You are always dreaming, you are always doing things. It's whether you can again recall those dreams. Also, living disconnected from nature. You're living disconnected from yourself, from your body. It's about reconnecting with this vessel that enriches your soul. Remember that you're not this vessel, you're the timeless consciousness that experiences life through this vessel, and the vessel is a temple, so treat it as such. A clouded pineal gland is clouded multidimensional perception, right? So it's almost like a blurred vision that begins to here like cascade. And cleansing the pineal gland, it's not something that is aesthetic, but it's vital. It is necessary for Stargate navigation. Like it's a necessity, it's not a luxury. Okay, I promise you, if you purify the vessel energetically, physically, emotionally, then perception will follow. You do not travel through dimensions. You phase into the frequency that matches who you are in that moment. You're not ever entering other worlds, but you're remembering the ones that exist inside of you. Your consciousness is the traveler. Your chakras are the gates, and your breath becomes the key. Coherence is the only thing that opens the door. And your self-love, and love is a verb, not a noun, so it requires follow through in action, right? Show yourself that you love yourself and do this clearing. That's the engine. Grey matter is the antenna, and your DNA is the archive. Dreams are only the maps. And your body, your sacred human body, is the vehicle through which the universe remembers itself. You are the gate. You are the traveler. You are the realm. You are the source becoming aware of itself. And there comes a point, and you'll know this deeply, when consciousness stops feeling like a point in the body and it begins feeling like the field that the body is moving through. So, with that being said, I am gonna leave that there. I'm gonna get one message for you in the tarot with the Gateway of the Light activation deck, And we're gonna leave it there and probably get one Cosmos Oracle message. You know me, I'm like okay, we're gonna close it, and then I'm just gonna do one because I have low battery as well, but I do want to get one closing out message for you because you've made it up until this point. So anything that's gonna assist you when it comes to you, and I know that each soul that comes into alignment with this is going to be at different levels of the spectrum. You have 3 messages. The first one is Stargate Heart, so unlocking the heart space. Be kind to yourself. If your compassion does not include yourself, it's not complete. Unlocking generosity. When you look at life through the lens of a harmonious heart chakra, and that becomes your biggest filter of perception, you understand your interconnectedness to all things. Look at this. Halls of learning. This is the astral realm. Spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons. I'm going to read this for you. Then you also have stellar gateway activation, infinite potential, manifestation, vortex, another very powerful card. We have Thoth there as well. So it's remembering yourself as a formless being, playing with itself and experiencing itself through form. Halls of learning, you could be doing work in the astral that I'm hearing has even required for you to enter into those realms within yourself, has actually required a lot of ancestral healing. That's also something that I'm seeing. Halls of learning. The halls of learning, also sometimes known as the Great Halls, are the etheric retreat dedicated to spiritual knowledge. They're the training ground for all souls, including those on earth, spiritual guides, and those between lives. They've been visited by many spiritual seekers, seers, and mediums over the years that have been described as a giant, somewhat gothic university building with marble floorings, spiral staircases, and tall bookcases. Some have said that these are halls to the Akashic records, while others have wondered if they're connected to the halls of a mentee. These are 2 different retreats. Ultimately, this etheric retreat is an ancient mystery school. This is the mystery school. This is the transmission. This is the remembering. Mystery school, and it's particularly powerful for those who are opening up their psychic and clairvoyant abilities. This is why this message has reached you, okay? This message has traveled, I'm hearing near and far through the quantum field, and it's found you exactly where you are. Also, if the idea of an ancient mystery school in the astral realm seems familiar, there's a good chance that you've been here during dream time, or you have been between incarnations. Isn't that so funny? I don't know if you've seen the message that I did around the astral realm, and there was like an astral university there. The Great Halls are held within the hearts of Source and are a projection of the divine mind's intelligence and its infinite nature. When we visit them, we are connecting directly with the wisdom of Source. You're on a path of great learning. Spiritual beings are drawing close to you during this time. If you are facing challenging or difficult circumstances, or have just moved through such a time, you're being called to review what you learned about yourself. If you're still feeling overwhelmed by a certain event and asking why it happened, call on Source and your guides to reveal to you the pattern of trauma or wound that has contributed towards this challenge. If you aren't experiencing challenging energy, the reason is that you've made huge progress on your spiritual journey, so much so that your perspective has shifted and that you can view every challenge as a window of opportunity. The halls of learning gateways indicate that your spiritual gifts are developing during this time. So I'm hearing while many of you are embarking on the journey, there is even more that are just mastering this ability. I'm hearing the multidimensional navigation. Let me see. I'm hearing like an upgrade in the vehicle itself. Let me go ahead and read Stellar Gateway for you as well. Anything that plays out, anything that sticks out. Let me find it. Stellar Gateway. It's right next to the heart chakra card as well. You're a master manifester. Energy is rising within you. The Stargate projection of our own stellar gateway. Okay, so again, this is like interdimensional travel. This is the gateway that you project from your own body, and those are the gates that you move through. I'm going to do another message on the actual different astral realms and the different dimensional spheres and gates that you actually move through during dream time, but Anyway, I just wanted to get this as like a basis foundation. You're a master manifester. Every one of your thoughts, actions, and non-actions and choices are affecting the unfoldment of your path. Realize that you have a great potential and power within you, and through your focused awareness, you can draw on heavenly support to create the life of your wildest dreams. Know that all the energies that you connect to are carried up into your stellar gateway, and if they're aligned with the intentions that your soul had before this incarnation, opportunities will come your way. It's important to consider connecting with your cosmic origins at this time, and also tracking down the intentions of your soul for if you can bring your wishes in this life together with your pre-life intentions, you can live a life aligned with the highest heavens. With that being said, 5555 on the clock. I'm gonna love a new view right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel and have made it to this point, do consider subscribing, because we'd absolutely love to have you around. I would be deeply honored, especially because you're doing this work. It's very exciting. And yeah, personal reading details also down below. Again, just a disclaimer, from around March, I'm going to not be taking any personal readings for about 2 months unless anything changes between that timeline. I may be accepting a very limited few because we have an interesting series coming up. I'm not going to say much more, hush hush. But yeah, I look forward to bringing you guys along. And yes, also check out Auto Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade jewelry. And one of the proceeds are donated towards Auto Sanctuaries. You have 2 discount codes for that in the description box. And until next time, yeah, let me know, guys. Also, did you find this useful? I hope so. Bye.